Hello, 7th graders. Welcome to your 2.7 guided notes solving into one-step equations involving rational numbers. Okay, we're going to continue expanding on parts of what we worked on last time and just kind of revisiting that just to make sure that we are understanding of all of what this entails. We're going to be using some decimals, some fractions, things that we've already worked on this year. We've talked about how to add, multiply, subtract, divide, all of those things in order to help us become better mathematicians. So our first example, we have x divided by 1.2 equals 15. So what math operation is happening to x? It's being divided by 1.2. So to undo that, what must happen to each side of the equation? I know that the inverse of division is multiplication, so I'm going to need to multiply instead by 1.2. Remember, we're always using the opposite. Inverse and opposite are meaning the same things. Let's go ahead and solve this equation now. I have x divided by 1.2 equals 15. I'm going to multiply by 1.2 here. Multiply by 1.2. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other in order to isolate my variable. These cancel. I'm left with x equals, I need to do some multiplication here. Reminder, when we multiply decimals, we just multiply them as if they are whole numbers and worry about the decimal point afterwards. 5 times 2 is 10. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. Give a new 0, start here. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 1 is 1. I add them up. 0, 8, 1. I only have one decimal point to worry about, so I just need to bring in my decimal point over one place value. So my new number is 18, so x equals 18 in this situation. Let's go on and do example 2. Okay, see that we have fractions right away. We know that we can understand and use fractions. We've done it throughout the course of this school year. Before winter break, we were working with fractions a little bit, so we know how to solve these types of problems. So what math operation is happening to w? We are adding 1/3 to w. So adding 1/3 to it. So to undo that, what must happen to each side of the equation? Now the opposite or the inverse of addition is subtraction, so we are going to subtract 1/3. Okay, let's start by rewriting this equation here. Tells me I'm going to subtract 1/3. So let's go ahead and subtract 1/3. These cancel out. I'm left with w equals. I need to make sure that I can subtract these. I can't just subtract them the way they are. So how can I get 3 to become 12? I know that I can do that by multiplying it by 4. Multiply that bottom, I must multiply the top as well. So I end up with 4 over 12. So now I just have 5/12 minus 4/12. The bottom stays since I'm just subtracting. 5 take away 4, I end up with 1. So w equals 1/12. We have a few less problems that need to be completed today. You only have 8 of them. They are a little bit more difficult in terms of what needs to be accomplished. You have decimals. There are some fraction problems down at the bottom here as well. If you need to, make sure you're double checking with a calculator, but I do need to see your work on here. I am not just accepting answers, okay? If you're struggling with any of this, make sure to rejoin the Google Meets. If it's outside of class hours, make sure to send me an email. Make sure that your name is on the top of this packet, and then it goes back in your red folder for the material swap on Monday. Thanks, guys.